Hello, my dear students. This is the first class of you on computer science, and the first chapter which we are going to do is computer system overview. So, what we are going to learn from this chapter, the first introduction which I want to give you, that computer have made great inroads in our everyday life and thinking. They are put to use for all sort of applications ranging from complex calculation or frontline research, engineering, simulation down to teaching, printing books and recreational games. The area of applications of computer are confined only by limitations on human creativity and imagination. Any task can now be easily performed on a computer. Therefore, it is essential for everyone in the society to know about a computer, its strength, its weakness, and its internal structure. So, my dear students, why we are going to do this chapter and what is the benefit of doing this chapter? The thing is that we are going to do Python, that is a computer programming language in +1 computer science. But before doing any programming language, you must be aware about the computer system, its internal structure, its advantages, its disadvantages, the processing schemes which are used by it, different operating system, and what is the meaning of all these things which it is using to give you the final result. So let's start it. First of all, we will consider the strength and weakness of computer. The question can come to you in this way: what are the advantages and disadvantages of computer, or what are the features of computer which you can discuss. Another thing which I want to inform you, that there is no need to learn lengthy material of the theory part in computer science. We will just learn and understand the things to the point, because our main motive always remain programming. So in this slide, what you can see, the advantages. All must be aware about the advantages: speed, high storage capacity, accuracy, reliability, versatility. All we know that the speed of computer is very fast, and mind it, it is beyond our imagination. That is done in nanoseconds. High storage capacity. Computer can store the data a lot. You know that. But you have to increase its capacity, its storage capacity according to your need. Next is accuracy. Computer always give accurate result. It depends on the user that what kind of data it's feeding in the computer. Whether that data is wrong or right, that can vary, but the result given by computer is always accurate according to the data input. Next is reliability. You can rely on this machine. This machine can never feel tired. This machine never get bored. Then versatility means it can do different kinds of tasks very efficiently and can do the same task again and again. These capacities are not there in the human being. But how we can forget that this machine is created by human being? So it has lack of decision making power. Computer cannot make its own decisions, and it says IQ 0. Whatever we are feeding, what we human are doing, according to that this machine is performing. Whether we talk about artificial intelligence, that is also created by human. What is a computer? Computer can access and process data millions of times faster than human can. A computer can store data and information in its memory, process them, and produce the desired results. Computer can do a lot of tasks such as playing game, railway reservation, weather forecasting, error detection, etc. Now all of you can see a weather report, but do you know that those weather reports are created by computers? All supercomputers are involved in that. A computer is used essentially as a data processor. The term data and informations are commonly used. but they are very different from each other. Let's understand the difference between them. Now, first of all, my dear students, what is data? Data in computer terminology means raw facts and figure. Suppose in a table you feed different kinds of entities. Rahul, 23, Sachin, 44, whatever. These single entities are known as data. And what is information? Information means what we get after processing data. Information means meaningful data. What information means? Meaningful data. For example, Rahul, whose roll number is 23. So, what we have learned from here? The answer of the question, what is the difference between data and information? What goes in the computer is data, and what comes out of the computer is information. This process of turning data into information is called the information processing cycle. So please understand these diagrams. Information is created from data. Data and then processing, and then what we get? Information. Same. Now this is the machine. Input, processing, side by side we need storage, and then we get output. So by using this diagrams you can understand little bit about our computer. Next, evolution of computing devices. Now this topic is not new for you. You have read this topic in 5th, 6th and 7th class too. You have learned that first of all we were doing calculation through abacus, then Napier bones, Blaise Pascal, this Leibniz calculator and Babbage difference engine. Remember, we have done the definition what is the full form ENIAC, electronic numerical integrator and computer. So, my dear students, all those things are telling us the evolution of computing devices. No need to learn all these things, just to understand all these things. Okay. Next, hardware and software. So, computer can be divided into two parts, hardware and software. Hardware is body and software is soul. Hardware represents the physical and tangible components of computer. The components that can be seen or touched, like input devices, output devices. Okay, you know so many examples, you already done that. And what about software? Software represents the set of programs that governs the operations of a computer system and make the hardware run. Without software, you cannot do any task on the computer. And there are three types: operating system, language processor, application software. The detail of it we will read in the next chapter. Okay. Next, input output unit. Again I am repeating, input output unit. This unit is responsible for getting data from input devices and sending output to the output devices. It comprises of number 1, ports connection to the input output devices. Input devices, devices which provide input in various forms. I think you are very much clear, we are very much aware about input devices and output devices, and you can write your own definition for these two. Now look at the diagram. Keyboard, mouse, other input. These are the side which showing us the input devices. Then processing take place here in the CPU, and here the data is coming and information is going towards the output devices. In between, what we are using? Memory. Alright. Next, input unit, central processing unit and output unit. What are input devices? We are very much clear. The input unit is formed by the input devices attached to the computer. The input unit is responsible for taking input and converting it into computer understandable form. Binary code. New term for you. We will discuss it. And examples are given. Next, CPU. CPU is the control center of computer. It guides, direct and govern its performance. It is the brain of computer. The CPU has two components, control unit and arithmetic logic unit. Control unit. The CU guides and control the interpretation, flow and manipulation of all data and information. What is the definition of control unit? It guides and control the interpretation, flow and manipulation. Manipulation means whatever the processing is taking place to manipulate that things, all data and information. Next term, ALU, arithmetic logic unit. ALU perform all the four arithmetical, plus, minus, multiply, divide and logical operations. Greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, not equal to. The output unit is formed by the output devices attached to the computer. The output unit converts electrical signals coming from the CPU into character, graphical or audio-visual form which can be understood by humans. For example, speaker, printer, headphones, etc. Now, very important topic, central processing unit. It can be a question like this. Draw the diagram of CPU. Okay. So it is a central facility responsible to carry out, it is a central faculty responsible to carry out the designated task. It comprises of control unit and arithmetic and logic unit, CU and ALU. We already read about it. CU supervises the operation and ALU carries out arithmetical and logical calculation. See, input devices, then central processing unit, CU, ALU, then memory, external memory, internal memory and then output devices. We will read about all the terms which are not clear to you later, step by step. So don't worry about that. So let's read about evolution of display technologies. I just try to just summarize all the things on one slide. First of all, cathode ray tube. Cathode ray tube, it developed in 1897 and was used in early computers and televisions. Those who are studying in our school, they have seen such computer in their previous classes. Remember? And next, liquid crystal display, suggested in 1963 for display screens, but were first used in calculator and watches. This much definition is enough. What is the full form of LCD? What is the full form of CRT? Half of one mark question. Plasma monitors. It released in 1964 and they found space because of long life and bright colors. Next, touch screen monitors. Although invented in 1965 but was first used in 2007 in Apple iPhones. Next, the memory. The memory of a computer is more like a predefined working space where it is temporarily keep information and data to facilitate its performance. When the task is performed, it clears the memory and memory space is then available for the next task to be performed. What is the meaning of it now? Listen to me very carefully. Whenever we are doing work on our computer needs the support of memory also. Whatever you are going to save in your computer, that gets saved permanently in your secondary memory. But when you are doing work on computer and side by side the processing is taking place, then temporary memory is helping you in that. And what temporary memory is doing? It's giving you space for that particular job, and then when that particular job is complete, it erases all that data and make itself available for the next job. What is the meaning of job here? The process that is going to take place in the CPU. The memory of a computer can be thought of as cell. Each of the cell is further divided into smaller parts called bits. Yes, 1010. 1 means electric current flow on and 0 means electric current flow off. Okay, and this is our machine language. We will read it in detail. A bit means a binary digit. The smallest memory unit is bit. The smallest memory unit is bit. You know that we need units to measure everything. For example, if I ask you to bring vegetables from the market, like say potato, you will say how much? I will say 1 kg, right? 250 gram or half kg, right? So we are using some terms to measure the quantity. In the same way, in computer, to measure the memory, we are using different units, and the smallest unit is bit. A bit means a binary digit, either 0 or 1. A bit is an elementary unit of the memory. 8 bits together form a byte. See this pyramid: bit, nibble, byte, kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte. Okay, we are going towards the higher term.